Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I am your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and of course, we are going to be diving into John Wick 5. We're going to be talking about Tron. We're going to be talking about Daredevil most of all. But as always, pull up a drink and let's dive into this. But as always, we always have a little bit of housekeeping before then. As I'm recording this, we have just dropped our review for the brand new Minecraft movie. We have our review of Novocaine coming out. And of course, we've got so much more coming next past week. So absolutely stay tuned. Stay subscribed because I got these so many reviews pumped out and ready to go. So you guys go hook into it. And this past week has been fantastic. To say alone, the fact that I always say a big thank you to Warner Brothers for giving me the opportunity to go to the Minecraft advanced screening here in Melbourne, which was fantastic. The photos are on our Instagram for that. That was an awesome event. And we also got to go thanks to Paramount. So thank you for the invite to go to the premiere for Novocaine, which, look, trust me when I say this weekend, if you're tossing up which movie to go see, I'd say definitely go watch Novocaine. But if you got kids, go Minecraft. If you've got no kids, trust me, this is a good one, especially if it's a first date. I highly recommend Novocaine. That's just absolutely blown in the water and is 100% good shit. 110%. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, ranters and rantettes, let's get into the news. Now, the very first news I do have, unfortunately, is not a very happy one. It's very sad, and it's one of those ones which we have done in previous episodes. So it's nothing totally unknown, but we do have to say that unfortunately in the past week, we had the passing of Val Kilmer, which, it's very sad. 1959 to 2025 for this man. Tombstone, Batman Forever, The Doors, MacGruber. If everyone really wants to go down that road so much, but it's sad because he's not had a very healthy life, and he's not had a very healthy life in the last coming years due to the cancer. It was so good to see him in Top Gun 2. That was such a good cameo. It was fantastic that he was in that. The man has a great plethora of filmography, and he's up there with one of the best Batmans of all time. Trust me when I say he's 100% higher than George Clooney. But it's very sad. So here at Lights, Camera, Rant, I would like to say share our thoughts and prayers go out to his friends, family, and pets as well. As it's very sad. It's not the news you want to wake up to, and the first thing you see on Instagram, this is what you see. It's gut-wrenching because you see these legends pass away, especially due to their health wise, not because they want to or it's their time. It's due to health. So our biggest thoughts go out to his friends and family. And trust me, the next week I can tell you that I'll be watching Batman Forever. And if for everyone who doesn't know, definitely go check it out. There is a rumored, or he's confirmed, it hasn't been released. There is a 3-hour cut of the Batman Forever, which you can look up all the details for that for. But yeah, there's a 3-hour cut on that bad boy. So yeah, definitely go check that out. But look, that's the saddest news, unfortunately, for this past week. But moving on to something a little bit more happy is that in this past week, we've also got the brand new title for the upcoming Spider-Man 4 in the MCU called Spider-Man Brand New Day. Little detail is the fact that, yes, it doesn't have the homecoming or nothing to do with home, but in the title, Spider-Man's got its brand new signature way it's being the name, but Brand New Day is still same color, taking still homage to the Homecoming trilogy. So this has been this will be a brand new direction, story, and everything. Continue on from No Way Home, but will be Spider-Man going into the next stage of his Spider-Man career, and it's and look, to this day, I still look back and go, God damn, the fact that we got Civil War, fantastic. The Spider-Man cameo. Homecoming was great. Far From Home was great. No Way Home was spectacular and absolutely just god amazing on what that does. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna go in this direction. In Spider-Man: Brand New Home, and the director who's directing this is the same director from Shang-Chi, which I know Simon Liu would love the fact that he was actually directing Shang-Chi too. Which I wish we were getting Shang-Chi too as well. And it's so scary to think about looking back on, oh wow, we got Thunderbolts, which tickets are about to go on sale. Two, Fantastic Four is coming in July. And then we've got Avengers, Doomsday, which is currently about to be in production and start filming. Three, we get Spider-Man Brand New Day. Four, we get Secret Wars. And we're at the end again where it's like, what's going to be the next Avengers movie after that? What's the next big direction after that? With the X-Men, Shang-Chi 2, Doctor Strange 3. Like, there's so much on the table moving forward and what could be happening that we're at that, yes, the upcoming Avengers movies have been delayed like, twice now. But the fact that, we're at this point and this is what we're getting. So Spider-Man Brand New Day. But fantastic seeing the title. That was great. But probably the biggest question from the announcements that we got with Spider-Man related, which has been on everyone's mind ever since it got announced, the fact that it would no longer be coming out originally last year, is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. So that was the next one that's like was up in the air. What's happening with it? The creative rehaul, everything to do with the strikes. The fact that they probably announced that this would be coming out way too soon to what it was meant to be. But the fact that we're going to be finally getting this, we are going to get it, but don't hold on to your breath at all because it is not coming out until June the 4th, 2027. And I would like to say a big shout out to the Galactic Core podcast for coming past. As always, thank you, sir. Which this man right here is about to have his big anniversary episode, his second year anniversary episode. He has an incredible lineup coming up. So definitely go check it out. Next weekend, we're going to be going live for this man's anniversary. So please go check out his channel, subscribe, and get ready for a full episode, which again, just like last year, I will win all the Marvel questions. As always, probably not Star Wars, probably not DC, but Marvel. I'm pretty set for that. But yes, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is not coming out in 2027. So yes, it's a bit far away, but at the same time, it could be over. It could be over the moon because of the fact in the same year we're getting Avengers: Secret Wars and Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is going to wrap up this incredible trilogy after the incredible Across the Spider-Verse, which was amazing. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this. And keeping that same quality, keeping that same consistency with the director, the story, this is just going to blow it out of the water again. It's going to be bloody incredible. But yes, we do have to wait that long, and I do still think that Sony pulled the trigger way too early to announce the fact, hey, it's coming out 12 months later. No, it ain't. It's coming out 3 years later. Oh. Sometimes people announce things way too early. Now, also, speaking of announcements, which was a fantastic announcement in the past week, that if you didn't see my reel that I'm excited for, is Coyote versus Acme has been saved thanks to Ketchup Entertainment, who also released the brand new The Day the Earth Blew Up Looney Tunes movie, which is bloody fantastic. So this film has gone through an absolute roller coaster of up and down, of will it, won't it, and Warner Bros. Trying to get rid of it for a tax write-off. So 12 months ago, probably even longer, I want to say. So we know the brand new Get Batgirl movie, which we were meant to be getting, got kind of lost in the whole shuffle with the shuffle of DCU with James Gunn and everything happening on that side. And the fact we found out that Warner Bros. Will not release the film and it'd be a tax write-off. Amongst those announcements was this brand new Coyote versus Acme movie, which was another live-action movie with these animated characters. The last one being Space Jam 2. And of course, before that, back in action. Now they've been trying. Now it's done shame because apparently everyone who's spoken to the film says the film is fantastic. It is solid, and it's just been gut wrenching the fact that it was never going to see the light of day. So after it being shipped around, there was a whole rumor that apparently Warner Bros. Was asking too much for the film, but now Catch Up Entertainment is getting an absolute blast of good comments for the fact they're going to be saving it. This film will be coming out. It will be dropping next year, 2026. So basically, the filming is done. It's all finished. It's done. It's probably little tweaks they need to do and get ready for its release. But the movie has been saved. And this is times when you see stuff like this that you just like, it's the fans that push it. And I always think about fans push it, fans save it. We all remember what happened with Sonic 3. Sorry, Sonic 3, the first Sonic, and how Sonic looked. And like, well, the fans really saved that one because that looked like a big pile of shit before they got involved in that. Now, this is a sequel that I didn't think I was going to say is currently in production or is currently in the works because of what happened in the ending and because poor Keanu Reeves' body is John Wick 5 is currently in active production with Keanu Reeves returning in his titular role. Now, I don't. Again, this gets to a point where people are like, I know, sequel after sequel after sequel. Yes, John Wick 1, fantastic. John Wick 2, great. John Wick 3, great. John Wick 4, great. That was fine. Even the fourth one was technically a slight push. I'm not gonna say because these movies are fantastic, but the fact that we're getting to the point where it's a John Wick 5. John Wick 4 wrapped up. I don't even know where they would go story wise. Like, how would he get back into this world? Whole draw back. Are you going to draw back from the dead? Like, how would that all kind of even imagine how that would work in a sane story of like how you going to bring this guy back? And look, we got Ballerina coming out in June, which makes sense. That's set between John Wick 2 and John Wick 3. John Wick 3 and John Wick 4, that's set. So that makes sense on why he's there and with the action. That's fine. I did see a couple of comments of people being like, oh my God, how could he be alive? He died. What's going on here? Is he kind of come back? I'm like, no, it's an in between. It's in between a sequel. So yeah, it's fine. It's in between sequel. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, that makes sense. I'm looking forward to that. That's around the corner for that. But I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, John Wick 5, I feel like that's pushing it. I definitely feel like that's pushing it. It's probably too far. Will I still pay for my ticket to go see it? You're goddamn right I am. And I will be right there on opening night to go see this. But at the same time, it comes down to that question is like, are you beating a dead horse too much? Like, you wrapped up 4 did fine. It wrapped everything up. His journey, his story. So bloody hell, what is going to be the story of John Wick 5? So yeah, John Wick fans, we're in for a very interesting ride on what the bloody hell that's going to look like. Also, the Galactic Girl podcast. Don't need a 5th film. Don't need a spin-off with Kane. Yeah. Oh no, the Kane one I'm interested about. The Kane one with Donnie Yen, who's also directing it. I'm up for that. I'm definitely up for that spin-off, but I'm not up for a John Wick 5. We don't really do. If we got Ballerina and we got Kane, we don't need John Wick 5. I think it's pushing that a little bit too much. We also got a announcement with Dexter: The Original Sin, which was a prequel series to Dexter that was dropped on Paramount Plus. It's got a greenlit for season 2. So this will still follow all of the main characters as we see Dexter going through more of his initial kills and leading up to the original Dexter TV show. So this most likely will not coming out until about late 2026, 2027. At this stage, however, later this year, we are meant to get Dexter Resurrection, which is a sequel to Dexter First Blood, and then also a sequel to the original show as well, which most likely at this stage, it's rumored the fact Dexter Resurrection will be the last time that we'll see the Dexter and see Michael C. Hall as the character, but Michael C. Hall will return in Dexter Original Sin Season 2 as the inner voice for Dexter. So I'm like I'm up for season 2, but I'm like the gap between when Dexter Original Sin ended and like we're in the first episode of Dexter, I'm like that gap's getting real small. So I know they can pump out a story in that, and that's probably they had all the attention to do. But I was a bit like, all right, you don't want to, don't want to get too close and overlap to the point where you're like a great show would be like towards, if he meets Rita for the first time, stuff like that would be really cool. But at the same, and like if it leads directly into that season as first episode would be great. But at the same time, like because he never wore his titular, his iconic outfit. Which not saying you need to go shop for shop. If he does wear it in season 2, I'm all up for that. But yes, that will be coming. Now let's get into Nintendo Direct with the Switch 2. So the Switch 2, it looks like I'm excited for this. It looks good. It looks fantastic. Now the biggest hype into this is coming on it is coming June the 5th this year. However, that's June the 5th it's being released. Unfortunately, with the whole Trump tariffs thing at the moment, they have put an announcement that the US pre-orders are currently in limbo at the moment until they figure out what's going on with that. So apologies, US fans. But yes, the Nintendo Switch 2, sorry, will be launching in June. It's about time. We knew it was going to be releasing this year, and we knew it was going to be sometime this year. Of course, they made sure it was nowhere near Gran Turismo 6, which continues that trend. But this is the thing I find hard with it. So, you get the Nintendo Switch, and I saw a meme about this, and I do agree to a point. So you're only going to be buying the Nintendo Switch for its portability, the fact that you got all your Nintendo games, and you have some IPs that are also on the console as well. For example, like Skyrim and all of them that will be on there as well. Which was that a picture of yourself on a beer can? What was that? Galactic Girl Podcast. Was that a picture of yourself on a beer can? Yes, it is, good sir. Yes, it is. It's I got a picture of myself and a picture of my dog on a stubby holder. It's fantastic, or a cooler, depending how you call it. But yes, I got that from my wonderful wife, and it's a stubby holder I pretty much take everywhere with me. So yes, I do have a picture of myself with my own stubby holder. um, but sorry, the Nintendo Switch 2 is that you get Nintendo, you get all Nintendo games, fantastic. But it's funny that you get all these games, you get this, and at the same time, on the other side of the fence, you got like the Steam Deck, which you can get a more powerful version, and then you have a library 20 times bigger than a Nintendo Switch, which nearly every game is on sale for. There's no subscription service. You have so much more access to everything. And then there's Nintendo Switch too, which you do have to pay for the subscription. You do have to pay. You'll be paying for all price for the video games, and that's something as well. The comments are a little bit weird about this. Is when I saw people like, oh no, for example, the brand new Mario Kart World, which looks great. If I was going to buy a Nintendo Switch, take my money. Unfortunately, I would not be buying a Nintendo Switch because I am currently putting my pennies away for a Steam Deck because I want unlimited access to gaming, and I don't want to be restricted by the Nintendo Switch too. But Mr. Mark My Words, if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, he will definitely be downloading. He will definitely be buying that, pre-ordering it, and he'll be streaming on that. So go check that out. So, but yeah, that looks fantastic, and the price for that is $100. And it's interesting the fact that a whole bunch of people have commented saying the fact this price is too high. I'm like, okay, but now the price for Nintendo games is the same price as for every other game, which is roughly about the $100 mark. And at the moment, it's still up in the air of how much Gran Turismo 6 is going to cost, because people are like, it's going to cost like $150 or even more. And going into this, because it was a bit like, okay, like I was not phased. I was more surprised about how much the Nintendo Switch 2 was, because I was like, okay, it's $700. I was like, okay, that's a little bit more expected. But at the same time, like, base Steam Deck is that price. PlayStation 5, normal, not Pro, is about that price. the new Xbox is about the same price, so it kind of fits in. But at the same time, like people just complaining about the price. I was like, settle down. Like, yeah, I know right now cost of living and everything, but I'm like, it's the price was like it's at the same level what a normal game is going to be. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the fallout of this moving forward is. So definitely, my question is to you: are you gonna be buying the Nintendo Switch 2? Or are you gonna buy Steam Deck? And do you find the games too expensive? What it's going to be now. Also, happened only 24 hours ago, we got the brand new poster and the trailer for the brand new Tron Ares that's coming out in October this year, which looks absolutely crisp, starring Jared Leto, which hopefully for this good man he gets a win because I don't think he's had much luck lately at all, especially after Morbius. So it looks very crisp, and what's basically the plot is the worlds are colliding between the Tron world, the real world, and the world of Tron will be entering the real world. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to stack up, especially after Tron Legacy, and the fact that Nine Inch Nails is doing the music for the movie with an original score, which when I saw the trailer for it, I completely forgot about that. I thought, oh, that's right, that's sick. That's going to be awesome to see how that's going to come about. But yeah, what did you think about the Tron Ares trailer? Are you ready to go back into the Tronverse? Are you going to give this a miss? For me, take my money. I'm all ready to get back into this. I just hope it lives up to the last two movies, be everything going on. And also another thing we got the brand new poster and a brand new trailer for the brand new Naked Gun, which I thought was going to be a reboot, but it's actually a reboot / sequel to the original trilogy. Now this was only a teaser, but it was absolutely a solid teaser. We got Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin, Police Squad. We got that good man in their role, and there's a scene at the end where they're all like, "Oh my god, I miss you, Dad," because he's Frank Drebin Jr. He's like, "I miss the other cops," and then obviously we got O.J. Simpson's son. He's like, "Yeah, Nick, a second, I miss you," but. For this, I saw the trailer. I was a little iffy, but by the end of seeing that last thing, I'm like, nah, take my money. I'm all in for this. Now, interesting enough, I think in America, it's dropping on August the 1st. Here in Australia, we're not getting to August the 25th. I hate these. I hate this. I hate this stupid thing with the fact that the movies don't release at the same time real world. I understand like time difference and everything like that, but still, like it should be. If America gets it on August the 1st, then we should at least get it August the 2nd. Now, why do we have to wait 3 weeks? Yeah, especially for a good myself when I'm trying to review it, try and get you guys to review straight away. When actually, well, no, I have to wait just to wait it out. That's all I gotta do. I just go wait this out until it's done. But yeah. So Tron Air is a bit anyway. Sorry, Naked Gun. Naked Gun will be coming out. What do you think about the trailer? Are you excited for this, or are you like, nah, this is gonna be shit? Definitely let me know what you think. But yeah, like I said, the past week, Nintendo Direct, Tron, Naked Gun, Spider Verse, Spider Man Brand New Day, John Wick 5, uh, Dexter, unfortunately, Val Kilmer. Yeah, we've got a bit this week, which has been really awesome. And in saying that, as I'm recording this, not only are we also 2 weeks away from the brand new season premiere for The Last of Us Season 2. So, and yes, finally, HBO Max is currently in Australia. So, all Australian fans, go download HBO Max right now and get ready for the brand new show. Totally scary the fact that we are only also going and leading into this is that we've only got 2 more episodes left of Daredevil Born Again, which is absolutely gut wrenching because of the fact that it feels like it only just started and it's already at the end. Oh, God damn it. But yes, in the past week, we got the brand new Daredevil Born Again, episode 7, Art is for Art's Sake, which is the episode which we get Muse front and center for this particular one, which we see that Muse has the therapy session with Glenn, the love interest for Mr. Matt Murdock. It goes in the session with her, which unfortunately, as we all predicted, it didn't end very well. A little bit dark, a little bit brutal in that sense. But it turns into basically this massive manhunt because the police, the task force finds out who Muse is because of his lair after what happened with the previous episode, with what happened with Angela, which Angela does say that Daredevil saved her, which we know the Kingpin didn't like at all, and which we're going to get to spoiler territory for this as well. That because he doesn't like the fact that Daredevil's back and he's helping the city, unfortunately, the Muse hits his demise later in this episode, which which he takes all the credit for that, and basically says that his task force is the one who brought Muse down. Like, oh, good task, but you really did helpful. You're all awful and you're useless, absolutely useless. Because which still leads up to the explosive final that we are going to be getting, which we did get from a leaked set photo with the Punisher returning, where he's Punisher gear versus this task force moving forward. So we're going to get that in the last 2 episodes. And the question is, to me personally, I think the Daredevil Born Again TV show has been hitting it week after week after week after week after week. But we all know with TV shows that you can be absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. But if your ending doesn't hit the mark, even though it is a season 2 or season 3 after it, it can let the entire show down because that's the lasting tasting impression that someone has on the show. So I'm hoping the fact the last 2 episodes still stay really strong leading in to season 2, which is currently shooting at the moment. Now, we did get the mid-season trailer, which was a bit explosive, the return of Bullseye, obviously with the bullet in his mouth. So we will be getting, so we know that is coming in the last 2 episodes. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to stack up. Now, probably, I know I've referenced it before, and if Mr. Galacticore podcast is still there, I'm talking about Acolyte, in which has it had a lull point, had some fantastic episodes, and the ending of it was a lull point. And to my lasting impression for Acolyte is the show is subpar, but has some of the best lightsaber battles we have seen in a very long time, and a more touch of the dark side and the Sith, which is fantastic. But the last impression I have of the final was like, okay. And of course, that was the same impression everyone else got because it is not coming back for season 2. Mr. Galacticore podcast. Muse. What a waste of one of the most disturbing modern characters Marvel have. All the build up and little payoff for Muse. Now, I do. For anyone who's obviously looked at the episode of this title, we have said goodbye to Muse. And this is one of the touching points, is I do agree with Mr. Galacticore podcast. Ugh. Sorry. Is, we got Muse, which is dark, twisted, messed up, has a kill count of 60 plus of killing people and using their blood to paint across New York City. A very disturbing, dark villain that should be right up with like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Saw or Freddy, Jason, like that type of level of like absolute dark murderer, and boom, in a fight, which I'm glad the fact that we kind of did get the background of him on how he was so good at hand-to-hand combat with Daredevil in the last episode, because that was my little point. So I was like, you for a nerdy kind of looking guy, you really hold your own against Daredevil, who's been doing this for years. So what's the catch to that? So I'm glad they told her the fact that he did taekwondo and he was really good at it because his parents pushed him and everything. So that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, we did get the fight scene. We did get the fight scene with them, and we got to see them go to hand combat. And it wasn't Daredevil who actually killed Muse in the end. It was she actually killed him. A ray of bullets to him, and we did get the final shot, which looked pretty cool at the end. for how it's going to look. But that's the problem. Is like I understand. Like I'm almost. This is probably one thing I'm probably just. I hope Muse comes back in some form or some fashion. But the fact that I know the story of Daredevil Born Again is the two pillars between Daredevil and Kingpin. I get that, and almost everything else in between is fodder. But I feel like Muse is too much of a fodder. On you have someone such a gripping character like this, such a disturbed character from the comics. Not even like an entrenched old type of villain, still semi early 2000s type of villain, which is absolutely disturbing type of villain. And in the space of just a couple of episodes, he's gone. And it seems probably a little bit anticlimactic. And at this stage, unless Muse comes back, I would say he's the most wasted potential of this brand new TV show. Daredevil Born Again is that he's the waste. He's probably the fact that you've got this great villain, this effed up villain right here. But it's like, nah, 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 nah. We're doing Kingpin. We gotta remain focused on the Kingpin. I get that too, and we want to see that epic confrontation between Daredevil and Born Again. Sorry, Daredevil and Kingpin again, and we want to see Kingpin wearing his white suit and go back to being back to who he was. But at the same time, like that shouldn't be thrown because of what's with Muse and what's happened with him. And I guess that another way is that we made it they've made it a very interesting villain, a very dark and twisted villain, which has kept you intrigued it to this point. But the fact that he's about to go boop bye, this is probably Again, this is where my main thing is that I think it's an absolute waste on what they've done with Muse, and from the collective, like I've seen on Twitter threads, you name it, is that we all have the same feeling. The waste of Muse. So I hope Muse comes back. I hope he does in some sort. Like I don't care. Like give me that. Well, actually, it would make sense if he did get that someone who's like, I'm gonna finish his work. I'm gonna continue his legacy. Type of thing, like a sword type of thing. I think that would fit his character very well. Just because how disturbed he is. Like, I'll finish what you started, and I'm gonna keep going. And the whole murder mystery is the fact is, holy shit, Muse is back. How is he back? He was dead. And this whole storyline goes in with Matt trying to figure out who the new Muse is. Would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be a great payoff to it. But at the moment, right now, it's a bit like, oh, that was a waste of time. That was just useless. Also in this episode, we also did see that Nessa also tricked Luca, and that Luca was going to go kill Kingpin when actually 360 Kingpin kills Luca to tie loose ends because Vanessa's not going to betray um, Kingpin at all. A Fisk, if you will. And we do know that there is a dancing scene which has all our four main characters all together. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Upcoming this week or the next week's episode, which I'm all excited for. But yeah, this episode was solid. It keeps going that dark trend. It sucks what happened with Muse. It's becoming more apparent that Daredevil is back. He's born again. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I can hear the complaints already. Trust me, even with these headphones on, I can hear people saying it. The fact that he's back, it's great. And the rumor is getting out. Fisk doesn't like that. Fisk is getting a little bit more messed up. Oh, and I'd like to say a big shout out to Mr. DJ Fly High. How you going, sir? Thank you very much for coming past. I appreciate it. We're just talking about Daredevil Born Again and the review all of it all together. But yeah, it's continuing the trend. It's good to see Daredevil's getting back out there, seeing the suit. Well, that's one thing is I'm glad the fact the last 2 weeks with Daredevil Born Again, I haven't seen the comments being like, when's he gonna get in this suit again? He hasn't been in this suit in so long. Like, my God, just give it a moment. Give it a freaking moment, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna get in the suit. The show's called Daredevil. We're gonna get in Daredevil. And I know there's a whole bunch of shows where the fact the show's tale going on about the typical thing is not actually going to happen for a very long time, but don't you worry. So, but yes, that is the current state with Daredevil Born Again. We only have 2 more weeks to go. And as with that 2 more weeks, once Daredevil Born Again is done, we will still be continuing on, going straight into The Last of Us Season 2, which I am ready to have my absolutely heart twisted, broken, thrown out. And as we go into that, we've also got Big Mouth Season 8 sprinkled in that as well. But I would love to know, what do you think about the last episode of Daredevil Born Again? What did you hate? What you didn't hate? What do you think about? What do you think? Do you think killing off Muse was completely unjust and is an absolute bullshit? And how would you like to see this character come back? Let me know in the comments. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, rantettes and rantettes, thank you so much for coming past this episode. Thank you for Mr. DJ Fly High, and thank you, Mr. Galactic Core Podcast, for coming past in this episode. Always appreciate it. And as always, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.